When my time came to go on another barren ground caribou hunt, I decided to go to the North Slope, and that's where the porcupine herd is. It's up near Deadhorse, Alaska, which is basically Prudhoe Bay, which is right on the Arctic Ocean. When you go north of the Brooks Range, you go into an area of Alaska that's inside the Arctic Circle. It's very barren, it's very wet, it's subject to sea fog, and it can make for a difficult hunt.
Well, I'll tell you what, first morning in camp, and Alaska's already showing her gritty teeth. This is probably the worst weather you can have as a bow hunter, especially on an adventure hunt, because not only do we have fog that's been rolling in off the Arctic Ocean, but we've also got a lot of wind. And you know, normally when you've got fog and you've got wind, the wind blows the fog out. But actually, here in the Arctic, the wind blows the fog in. What worries me is I've spent 4 days in the Brooks Range in rain and fog in a tent, never being able to hunt. And when you're in Alaska, you can't go to your laptop, you can't check the internet weather, you don't know what's going to happen. This could stay for the whole trip. And it gets you a little bit nervy, because when you come in and you want to go hunting, you want to go hunting. But look at this, pretty much trapped in camp.
On my caribou hunt, we set up our tents and we had just a little knoll that really was kind of the high spot. The Super Cub had dropped us in, you know, small plane, big Tundra tires, dropped us into an area where we thought we were going to have some migration. But it was early in the season, the caribou were in velvet, and basically the bulls were just trying to stay out of the bugs, and they were crisscrossing all over the place. There was a lot of black flies, mosquitoes, just bugs that time of year. We're talking about the middle of August.
This trail is just pounded with caribou tracks. They're definitely coming through here every day. You can see as we get up here on this hillside that this muddy, wet area almost is like there's a spring up here that's feeding water to this. Of course, we've been getting rain, so every day, but what's happening is as these caribou come down these trails, when they get to a spot like this, they're getting in this mud and they're getting it on their coat. They're laying down in it, they're rolling around in it. But I think right here is where we're going to set up. I want to set up here. I'm going to be able to glass this whole countryside, and I've got active caribou trails leading right into me. I think this is the perfect spot to set up and watch for caribou.
Well, we struggled because it seemed like every time we saw a caribou, which we thought he was going to go along the ridge, he would turn and go down into a gully and leave and go totally away from us. And if you've ever hunted in caribou country, you have to understand that the tundra is just very difficult to walk in. Every step is like walking on a mattress and springy, and you're rolling your ankle, and it makes it difficult. And on this particular hunt, for whatever reason, I had a little bit of problems with my knee, which made it even harder for us to move after some of these caribou. When you're hunting caribou, you're generally going to the highest point in the tundra that you can find, and you're going to glass, and you're basically looking for animals coming across the tundra. And if you can spot a herd or a group of caribou moving, generally they're leaving a scent trail on the ground and other caribou are going to follow. So if you see a group of 10 caribou go through an area, typically if you can get close to that area and get set up, another group will eventually go through there.
Barren ground caribou hunting. We're sitting up in a perfect spot to just glass a huge area, and here comes a bull out of nowhere. No reason to walk by us, there's no trails up here, but here he comes. I get ready, get in position. I don't know what he saw. He must have saw me move, but he locked up at 72 yards. I don't want to make that kind of shot. But he starts to skirt around the edge of this hill. Then there's a cow down here. I get over here, it's too far, it's a long shot, and they booger away. That's what makes it tough. There's just really nothing to hide behind, you know. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. We'll take another chance, and we'll just see if another big bull comes by.
Eventually, one afternoon, we saw this bull, and he would run from this water hole to that water hole, across the tundra over here, back over there. And we ended up naming him Crazy Alice because he was crazy. He was just running everywhere. But he in turn runs all the way down and goes into this big cut. And we watched him go into the cut, but he never came out. So we hurried around, got down the hill, and started stalking on this caribou. Now I don't know if he's still in the cut or not, but we're just moving really, really slow, nice and easy. And all of a sudden my cameraman, Chris Douglas, he spots this caribou in this cut. Now I didn't even see him. And he goes, over there. And as soon as I look, I see this caribou coming up out of this cut.
I got him. Yes. Alaskan barren ground caribou. These caribou are crazy up here. I've seen a lot of good shooter bulls, but they're just running everywhere. And they won't run in any particular pattern. Set up here, you see them over there. You try to stalk over there, they run over here. It's just crazy. Let's give him a few minutes and we'll go see him. He was right down here in this mud hole. Look at the caribou tracks. Caribou tracks in here everywhere. It's like they're coming down in here and rolling in this mud to get out of the bugs. Look at the prints, all in here. You come right up through here, right up on top. And I made my shot, about 30 yards, right here. Here's my arrow. Perfect pass through. Let's go find him. He didn't go 100 yards, he's right there. There's water everywhere around here in these low spots. Look at this. Look at this. Barren ground caribou from Alaska. He's got a small double shovel. He's got nice bezzes. He's got decent tops in full velvet. You know, it's great to be out here in the Arctic Circle of Alaska for barren ground caribou. You're set up in a tent, they fly you out in a bush cub, and when you can get on the ground and you can spot and stalk and have a good time, there's Arctic grizzly up here and plenty of caribou. We made the shot, we got one, and I just love bow hunting. This is why. Look at this nice caribou.
Barren ground caribou is getting more difficult to hunt, more difficult to find a good place. My particular animal did not make Pope and Young. You have to get 325 inches net on a barren ground caribou to make Pope and Young, and that's a big caribou. So I probably will go back and try for another one, but I just love to hunt caribou, and it's a good place to go up there, Porcupine Mountains.